So I know that according to some, unfortunately I'm considered a homophobe and a bigot, but I'm gonna be just coming out and saying this really quickly. I am disappointed in the Supreme Court. As Mike Huckabee said, the Supreme Court thought that they were bigger than God, and even worsely, we thought that we were bigger than God. We basically said, excuse my language, fuck you, God, we don't need you. Sodom and Gomorrah didn't really happen, and if it did, you're a cruel, merciless God who didn't know what the heck you were doing. And the United States is really in trouble right now. And if there's ever a reason that we were called a Trafe Medina, knowing what happened at Sodom and Gomorrah and doing what we did, the United States is officially a Trafe Medina, and we're in trouble. And I know that it's amazing how on both the Pharisee and the Karaite calendar, because I assume that some people fast for 2 days, like they would celebrate the feast days for 2 days, at least in the diaspora. And some people are going to be fasting tonight because of the decisions that were made by the Supreme Court, because we're definitely going to need more mercy than Sodom and Gomorrah. I know that some people are definitely going to be beginning to fast tonight for Tzom Tammuz, because it does coincide with the fourth fast. And God redeemed that fast, obviously, because it had originally been to a pagan god, but then it became the fast of the fourth month. And what we need to do, speaking of redemption, is redeem this country right now. Any one of us who's observing Tzom Tammuz, I'm not saying whether or not I am. You don't have to say whether or not you are either, because whether you fast, that's your business. But I encourage anyone who's fasting and praying tonight, if you're in the area that I'm in, so this is for the part of Maryland that I'm in, sunset to sunset is 8:38 to 8:38 p.m. So if you're going to be fasting, we're fasting for our second day, I encourage you to fast for that long and, drink all the water and the coffee and whatever that you can now, whatever you need to sustain yourself through the fast, because we're really going to have to, if we're going to fast tonight, we're going to really have to be doing this and really being serious about this. And if you can, I'd even encourage you to get off your computers and just delve in the Word for the day and just pray and do whatever you gotta do. And like I said, I'm not telling you whether or not I'm fasting. You don't have to tell me whether or not you're fasting, and whatever you do is up to you. But as I said, if we're going to be called a Trafe Medina, we just basically, for lack of a better term, tried to fly in the face of God, and it will backfire on us. And we're going to need more mercy than Sodom and Gomorrah, especially because we said to God, like I said, excuse my language, we said to God, fuck you, God, we know better than you. And that didn't work for Sodom and Gomorrah when they engaged in active homosexuality. And as far as I know, there was even no gay marriage in Sodom and Gomorrah. There was just outright active homosexuality. Now we're saying, hey, not only can you engage in active homosexuality, you can even marry your homosexual partner and thus create marriage to be an abomination. And so, like I said, we're really going to need more mercy than Sodom and Gomorrah on the day of judgment. So anyone who's praying or fasting tonight, or be praying or fasting for a second day, if you follow the Pharisee calendar, and if it's Tammuz 18 for you, I just encourage you to fast, to really pray, to do whatever you're going to do. Like I said, you don't have to tell me whether or not you're going to do it. I'm not saying whether or not I'm going to do it, because someone did say, well, you don't have to do it because of your surgery and stuff that's coming up. So, well, my take on it. I think I made my point.